Hey everyone, welcome back to another Cut Up with Chris. Going for a head shave. I was going to do it yesterday, but I'm going to knock it on the head now. A couple of hours time I'll do my face shave and then I'll go to bed because I'm exhausted. So I'm going to be using Grooming Department Basique again, which I used yesterday for my face shave. I'll be using something different for my face shave today, but that's what we're using for my head shave. Oh god, bloody knackered. I've moved the camera ever so slightly up, so I think it sort of catches all of my head, I think, from the area. It's a little bit close. We'll see how we go. It just shows a bit better when I do that, when I'm actually shaving the head. So I'm going to be using my 30mm wool whiskers. So the knot that's in here is a 30mm Magard, which I believe is a Yahtzee knot, Yaki knot. So there you go. I do use Yaki stuff, I just don't buy them direct from Yaki. Straight into the soap. I'm going to load this reasonably heavy, given that I'm going to be doing a head shave with a razor which I'm not sure how it's going to perform. It should perform better than it did using the version 1 because I am using plate number 3, which should give me a more efficient, closer to the skin sort of shave straight up. And I'm probably going to give this one a go directly against the grain. No messing about with the... This knot is just enormous, it really is. It is a monster. Now for those of you that haven't used Grooming Department vegan soap or vegetal soap, this stuff is so slick and it makes the creamiest lathers. And I really would like to challenge someone out there that's pretty good with the tallow soaps, just to try it if they haven't, and tell me what they think's better, because I do like tallow based soaps. I'm told that there's not really any difference in the end product, but I believe there is some sort of, there's more creaminess to a tallow soap I find. But this stuff takes creaminess to a new level, especially for vegetal. Just wet the head. I'm going to scoop out the excess from the tub, like so. I mean, look how creamy that is, and that's just a tiny little bit from inside the tub. Just get that rubbed in. But it's the slickness that gets me with this Grooming Department. It is so slick. Right. Paint this on. And let's start adding some water to the tips. Oh, it's got a lovely scent, this soap. One of the guys that watches quite regularly was saying he has it, loves it, but it doesn't get that piney sort of scent from it. I certainly do get a pine sort of, a really sweet pine. It's almost gourmand in its scent. I need loads of water. Look at that, just building down the front there. Now I have to say, not the best brush for head shavers, because let me tell you, this handle weighs a ton. And when you're doing this for a prolonged amount of time, there's the old shoulders out. And unless you're a bodybuilder or someone that's got good fit shoulders like I don't, you're going to struggle. think I'm pretty much there. Really happy with that. That's about as creamy as it gets when I've got quite long hair, or longer hair. I think I've got about 7 days growth. So that's pretty exceptional. Let's just see how it shaves. So what I have here is the Supply Razor version 2 with plate number 3 on there. Let's see how she goes. I'm just going to go directly against the grain and see how it feels. Well, if you guys can see that, what I'll do, so it was 3 strokes against the grain. I'm just going to knock a little bit of that off. Hopefully you can sort of see the hair just sticking up there. So it's completely chewing through it. I have to say it is like a knife through butter. I'm not even feeling it cut through the hair. It's just, wow, look at that. 2 strokes. Now, I don't normally do this directly against the grain because I normally have to go with the grain first. Most razors struggle directly against the grain. This razor, however, is not struggling at all. In fact, it's very impressive. It is clogging up just a little bit. I think that's mainly because the lather's so thick. I could probably be doing a little bit more water. I'm not joking when I tell you this, I cannot feel it cutting the hair at all. But yet it's taken pretty much all of it off. There's the odd little tuft here and there. See how thick that lather is. So there we go, first pass down. I've got a couple of little cuts and nicks, I think, so one there. I've definitely got one already, but it's probably just leaning too heavy with it. lather number 2. With the Beast. Just dip the tips. This for me is where a natural hairbrush can't compete with a synthetic. People always say, oh, it's not a crime to go back to the, well, CDB does at least. It's not a crime to go back to the puck. You're right, it's not. But why go back to the puck when you don't freaking have to? And synthetic brushes give you that. You don't have to go back to the puck. That is rain, by the way. I haven't heard rain for quite a while. So we go against the grain again. This will just be touch-ups. Now, I said in my face shave when I first looked at this razor and compared it with the supply with the sort of first impressions, I couldn't really tell the difference. And to be honest, the differences between them are very, very subtle, but there are differences. One thing I noticed when I checked out the razor just before the shave, the finish of the version 2 is better. It's much cleaner. There's less sort of jaggy bits in it. Yeah, still got a little bit of blood down here somewhere. I can tell you one thing that is slightly different with it. The handle from there to there is ever so slightly shorter, and I'm talking like 4, maybe 5 millimeters. It's just ever so slightly shorter, so it's not quite as long. In your hand it feels slightly slimmer in your hand as well. It doesn't feel quite as chunky in your actual fingertips. So it's another thing that feels slightly different. You can't really tell looking at it that it feels different, but when you put it in your hand you can feel it's definitely got slightly different dimensions. It's only ever so slight, but it's noticeable. The fit and finish is definitely, if you really look at all the machining sort of right in here and actually on this part here, it's a lot smoother, a lot cleaner on this new version 2 than it is on the V1. Now my face shave tonight will be consisting of pretty much a side-by-side comparison on plate 2 on each razor. Which on speaking with Spencer over at Spencer Frankel, Spence Shaves, that is his go-to plate. He doesn't use other ones. Once the touch-up's done, I'm just going to wet my head slightly, apply another bit of lather. It's definitely, with this soap, lathering a bit better, but you can see how weak the lather is now. I would not have this problem if I had a synthetic knot. I really wouldn't. Just a quick dusting on there, there's not much, and it's just going to be a quick, just a bit of a feel. But this is incredibly smooth. as is the version 1. It is as smooth as the version 1 in my opinion, even though I'm on plate 3 now. Let's have a good feel about it. See, I've got a couple of little bits of irritation here and there. I think part of the problem with this razor is it's so smooth and so mild. I'm automatically adding pressure that I don't need. But as with the version 1, very intuitive, I find. What you try to do is pretty much lie that flat part there against your skin. I was also trying to figure out how they've actually made it more efficient. So obviously looking at the razors, it's not hard to see, but once you realise what you're looking for, you realise how they've made it more efficient and more mild. But at the end of the day, that's a pretty good shave. Now I've got definitely a cut over here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. I don't know whether it's actually bleeding still. Yeah, there's still a tiny spot. Just one over here. But everywhere else, yeah, I've got quite a few on the back here. What I might do, just give me a second. I don't normally break this bad boy out, but why not? Razor Rock Allen block, just wet my head. And then wet the block. And surprisingly, there's not much feedback. I thought there's been way more feedback than that. Yeah, take me a little bit of time to get used to that razor. It needs a lot lighter touch. I've pushed too hard, that's all that's happened here. Thinking because it's so smooth and so mild that I can get away with it. And I could, to some degree. Whenever you use alum, always wash it off. It's not good stuff to leave on your skin, it just dries your skin out. Dry the block out. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of this just now. So Fio della Rasoio, which I think is made by Paraso, I think. So I'm not 100% sure. Good blob of that. And there we have it, BBS. Just rinse the brush out. So definitely basing that on my previous shave with the Supply, which was very recently, where I had a great shave. That's definitely way more efficient. I'm not saying that was a quicker shave, I think it might have been quicker, but it was definitely more comfortable. It was less pressure involved, less passing over the same areas all the time. It was actually quite an enjoyable experience. Yeah, I didn't feel like I was going to be chopping myself to bits. I felt like I could win a little bit harder, even though I got a few nicks on the back there, or weepers, not nicks, but weepers. I think it was overall a pretty good effort. I'll show you the tips on this brush now. It's been used a little bit. I mean, these are super soft. Give that a good dry out, rinse the soap. So overall, it's a very good razor. Great on the skate, great on your face for face shave, excellent on a head shave. Used Grooming Department Basique today, which I used yesterday. Excellent performance soap, smells great. Good scent strength, really nice, sweet, woody. There's no floral in there, it's definitely a sweet, woody scent, that's where it sort of stops. It's supposed to mimic or imitate like freshly crowned sawdust from a pine tree, or pine sawdust. And it is pretty good. I find it quite close to being like that. But it's, like I say, it's quite a sweet scent. The brush for today, as you just saw, was the Whiskers 30mm Monster. It's a 2-band finest from Magard or Yahtzee or Yaki. Just to give you an idea, the brush I'm using for my face shave, it's a West Coast Shaving extra dense silver tip, and just to give you an idea on the size of this knot, it is absolutely massive. In fact, the knot is pretty much almost the size of this whole brush. Just gives you a bit of an idea how big that brush is. It's massive. Like I say, not the best brush for doing your head. Supply razor version 2, plate number 3. We're whipping this plate off now and putting on plate number 2 for the comparison shave later on. But very well designed, well built razor. I do prefer the look of it in black, but as you can see from the head, so the handle's still nice and matte black, and as you get to the head you can see all that soap scum. I'll just put my finger right through the middle of it so you can actually completely see it. If you just slide your finger over there like that. So that sort of thing, it's not a razor you buy if you don't clean your razor every time you shave. If you clean your razor every time you shave, get your hold of one. They're really worth it in my opinion. There's very few people who could grumble with this razor. Now, I was sent this as a birthday gift from OIB Chapo. I know it was a razor which he didn't enjoy using. He knows I love it, and which is why I absolutely love the gift. So he doesn't like it. He likes a good aggressive efficient razor. This isn't that. If you want an aggressive efficient razor, buy an R41 or an R1 or a, you know, something with a bigger blade gap. This is a mild razor. Even on plate 3, it's still a mild razor. Now, as I was saying earlier, the way they've made these razors a little bit more efficient is if you see this little bump, let's see if I can get that to focus. There's a little bump just here. You can see how sort of low that bump is. When you put this one up, you can see straight away how high the notch is on this one compared to that one. Hopefully I can get that on the camera. So that's how they're doing actually making them milder and more aggressive. So the lower the bump, the more efficient it is. The higher the bump, obviously, the milder it is. So that's how they're doing it. So that was that. Finished off with a little bit of alum block, which I don't use very often. Very rarely does that come out, but I did have a little nick there. It's probably still bleeding. Actually, I don't think it is. It's done its job very well. So Fio dell'Aerosoil aftershave balm. which helps with ingrowns and all sorts, which I don't actually have to worry about on my head. Now I will say, I think I'm going to have a little bit of post-shave irritation today, so I might not be able to shave my hair for a few days, but it's not to worry, so I'm only shaving sort of once a week at the moment. But BBS head shave, very comfortable, very smooth. Probably pushed it a little bit too hard in terms of actually forcing onto my skin trying to shave, but that will come with technique and using this razor a little bit. It's the first time I've used it on plate 3, and yeah, I just thought I could push it a bit harder, but obviously couldn't. Let's say there's still nothing major. I'm sure after a couple of hours that'll die down a bit and I'll be alright. Definitely a bit of blood happening somewhere. Anyway, I'll leave you guys to it and I'll go and shove a big band-aid on my head. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.